My videos where I ramble ironically do the worst as far as view wise. I mean, I'm small, so like, bad is very relative at this stage, but they do the worst as far as like everything else I do, but they're ironically the most relieving because I put a lot less pressure on myself. When I just kind of ramble, I can get thoughts out because I'm very much someone who will sit in a room alone and just sulk or like look inward and just think about the same things over and over again until like they become like sort of like almost a tick, and I just have to get them out or like talk to someone about them in some way. So a bit of this for me is a bit of therapy, on top of all my other therapy, of course, but also just kind of like just a way for me to get things out, but also do what I want and love, which is like entertaining in some way. And I hope that like, as I improve and become more comfortable doing this, it does become more entertaining, or at least just good background noise for people, of course. Also, like, I kind of feel like Bill Burr in a sense, just kind of like this old angry man who's like sitting in front of a microphone and rambling, and hopefully people on the other side resonate with it a little bit. Something I've been thinking about very much recently has been believing in myself. I mean, I know everyone struggles to believe in themselves. Like, I'm not special in that, I struggle with, imposter syndrome or taking compliments or anything like that. But I think especially me at this stage where, because I'm so small, I really, really struggle with believing in myself, because I want to do like writing and YouTube and all these other like creative endeavors, and the consequence, or like the reward essentially for doing well in those fields, is like building a fan base, or at least getting monetary compense for it, and I don't really see those. And obviously I know that like we shouldn't, like no one should tie their creativity and like their worth to financial gain. Like my videos and my humor and like making people laugh, like I shouldn't tie my worth and my value and how well I do those things to that. I should tie those things to like how good and like how much I can improve, etc., etc. I shouldn't seek, but I don't know. That's the thing. Like, building a fan base, like, sure, you shouldn't seek outward validation. And I like the work that I do, but like, also at the same time, it's like, well, outward validation is my bread and butter. I'm definitely really much one of those people who would 100% of the time rather tell a bad joke that no one laughs at than tell a good joke that no one hears. Does that make sense? I want and desire and need the validation, and also like hopefully the ability to sustain myself, because I would do this for free, but like obviously we don't live in a world where I can do, like, people can just pursue their dreams for free, but like we should be able to, and that's like, I'll get to that, but like that's a lot of what my rant is about. But I would do this for free. Completely lost my train of thought there. Bad joke. Yeah. But like, I desire that sort of outward validation, and I would do this for free because I seek that outward validation, because it brings me joy. I think it was like Robin Williams or something like that, or like some comedian had this quote where it was like, I feel bad inside, or some shit like that, so I try to make other people feel good. And that's a lot of my logic. It's that I don't feel great 99% of the time, so I try my best to make others feel better than I feel a lot. And again, I would do that for free because it brings me joy, even selfishly, technically, because I get something from it, so it's not completely from an altruistic aspect. But again, like, I would do that, but it's unfortunate we don't live in a society that, that appreciates or really respects that, or even allows people to pursue their dreams and what makes them happy comfortably. Because I don't care about being rich. I don't care about pretty much any of like monetary gain, essentially. I just want to make good stuff, entertain some folks, and hopefully when I close my eyes for the final time, the legacy that I leave and the mark that I leave on history is that motherfucker was funny. Like, that he was funny. Like, he could tell a good story. He was good at the things that he tried to do, and I inspired people to do the same. And I think that's what I want in general in life, is to inspire people to chase their dreams wholeheartedly and unabashedly. Like, not to be a doomer, of course, but like I often feel like the world's ending anyway. Climate change and a lot of people like realizing just how awful America is, and like our politicians are essentially pieces of shit that don't really care about us, and they're completely backed by and controlled by donors and corporations and like the capitalist class of people, etc., etc. Not to get all political. I mean, whatever, it's my channel. But like rich people in suits dictate our lives who don't give a shit about us, and like they would love nothing more than for everyone to sort of go, well, I have no other choice but to make as much money as I can for somebody else so that I'm not homeless and shit like that. And it's like, sure, yeah, like don't be homeless if you can avoid it, but also like don't give up on your dreams, you know what I mean? Like if you want to be a cowboy, like be a cowboy. If you want to be an astronaut, like I don't know, like there's training for that, but like I don't know, like fucking like build a rocket ship in your backyard. I don't know, maybe like do your thing. I guess people should constantly pursue what makes them happy to the best of their abilities and not give a damn about trying to do what like fit the mold, essentially. You know, like we all know that we have to partake in the rat race to some extent, you know, like we all have bills to pay and stuff, but like what if we didn't? You know, like what if we just all did what made us happy? What if everyone who wanted to write poetry just wrote poetry for the sake of writing poetry and not necessarily for making money? Like don't monetize what brings you joy. I think everyone should have at least one hobby that they just do for the love of the game. You know, like a friend of mine taught me that, like my friend T, like we were having a conversation and they were talking about like, I don't know what we were talking about, but I was saying like, oh, like why don't you sell things on Etsy? Cause like they're very crafty and like to crochet and it brings them joy. And I was like, why not monetize that? And they were like, I don't want to monetize something that makes me happy. And sure, that's not like, a lot of people have felt that way or had that thought, and maybe like someone else in like my past have said something similar. But I think that really resonated with me and kind of blew my mind, because it was like, right, like not everything you do that brings you joy and doesn't hurt to do should be for other people or monetize in some way. Some things should just be for yourself, because my logic was, oh, it doesn't hurt to do it, so you should make money from it. But like doing things that don't hurt should be the bare minimum. We shouldn't do things. We've been so conditioned in society to just grit our teeth, bite the bullet, and do things that suck. Waking up at 4 a.m. for a job that sucks and you hate and everyone else there hates, and a boss who treats you like absolute dirt because he knows you don't have any other option. This is where your insurance is tied. And it's insane that that's become normalized, that like we should just hate whatever like 80% of our existence until we die or we retire, and then like in the meantime like there's pockets of some sort of enjoyment. Oh, I get a couple days to myself where I saved up enough money to go to Mexico or fucking something like Disney World or some shit. But like at the end of the day, like that's still giving money to some sort of evil business or corporation, you know what I mean? Like everything ultimately leads to evil. Not to sound like some weird conspiracy nut or whatever, but like it just sucks that like it's unavoidable to I was talking to someone and they were telling me about how like they're in school and like they always just really wanted to help people, like whatever that means. Like they wanted to, I think, build equipment or like medical equipment or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. And through our conversation, I found out that John Hopkins, like the children's hospital, is a defense contractor. And like, sure, I'm sure it does like other things beyond like be like a children's hospital, so that shouldn't be shocking. But I know it as a children's hospital. So it's like the fact that you're never too far removed from something horrific in the world unintentionally. It's heartbreaking, but also relieving in a sense that it's like none of this really matters. Do whatever you want. Be happy. You know, it's like whenever you like go to a museum or like American history art or whatever, it's like, oh, who made this thing? A racist? Damn. Who invented this? Oh, they were a sexist and think women weren't really people? Okay, yeah. How about this thing? Oh, they Hitler gave them what? Anyway, I could go on forever. I think I don't even remember what my original point was, to be honest. I think it was like how I really struggle to find confidence in myself. I think ultimately what I'm trying to say is I really struggle to find confidence in myself, even though I think I'm funny and entertaining, and that like even if I'm not the best at it right now, it's something I take joy in and want to improve upon. So that in of itself is something worth sticking at it with, as far as I'm concerned. But ultimately I think, yeah, no, like I struggle to find confidence, but also I'm too petty to stop. You know what I mean? It's like the world's ending anyway, so I might as well do what makes me happy, and this makes me happy, and I think other people should do the same. So yeah, I guess, I don't know. Thanks for listening.